We're talking the city of Sekondi-Takoradi. Indeed, the twin city of Sekondi-Takoradi, where the chief executive of the city, Mr. Anthony KK Sam, he's my guest here on the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, madam.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, because you got massive endorsements during the elections.
Yes, I did.
But you've also given some promises and some assurances. So first of all, can we talk about, let's just briefly assess the city as it is today, the twin city. How would you say the city is today?
Thank you. The twin city happens to be the only twin city in Africa. Yes, and we are very proud of that. Going back to the history, you know, it used to be very robust and full of activities because of the railways and the timber industry, cocoa, and the rest. But come to think of it today, although we are proud to say we are the oil city, but we are not enjoying what an oil city should be enjoying, because all the companies are almost gone. The timber factories are gone. The cocoa industry too are no longer there. And the railway, you know the story yourself.
Yeah.
So you could see that the city is not that as it used to be. But fortunately, we are hearing the government is coming to revamp the cocoa industry for us. So when you have WAMCO 1, WAMCO 2 coming in, a lot of employment will come up. And as for the timber industry, because these days things have changed, people don't want to bring their logs in bulk to the city, but they want to do the sawing and everything closer to where the raw materials are, and they pack the thing straight to the port. So for you to see the city with the timber industry, it will be very, very difficult. And also residential areas are taking most of the industrial areas. So we are relocating to a free zone area around Ishim area there.
No, that's the new plan.
Exactly.
Okay.
The free zone area.
How
there.
soon is this relocation going to happen?
With the freeboard industry, it's in progress. So we are just doing the documentation and doing the service utilities there. We send light, road, and other things there. So that when investors come in, they will see that the land are already serviced. You have the facilities there and they can easily go in. Formerly, it used to be around Mpentin, Suffolk area there, but it was allowed to follow for some time, so the owners started encroaching upon it. Okay. Now, government has spoken to them. They have cut off some parcel of land for the indigenous and a part for the free zone. So we are going to use that free zone part, going to plot area there. That is the area we are going to have the free zone. Fortunately for us, we have one Chinese company into tiles production, 4 tiles, very big factory. They have started production. They are already there. So we are looking at preparing the place. Future companies which will be coming to the twin city will relocate to that place.
Is that the reason, perhaps? That's why the roads at the old industrial enclave seem to have been abandoned, because the roads there are terrible.
Oh, the roads in the area, I cannot say, I will not agree with you that has been abandoned. You know, apart from the companies which are there, there's other companies there, some oil companies are there. Some have relocated from Tema. We have Cyrus and the rest putting up their tanks. UBI was there. They have sold to another company. We have Total merging with other companies. They have their enclave there. And the problem with the road is not because of the companies, but it's ongoing. Some of them have been given contracts, have been put on contract, and they are working on it. And others are also yet to be on contract, because you know, we have one linking the runabout, the famous Park Grant runabout to Sekondi-Takoradi via Gasem and the rest. You know, we have Gasem, we have the Gapoha there, bauxite and the rest. And these people use bulky items, so the big trucks ply the road. So the road are nothing to write home about. So we are in talks with them, and recently the CEO of Gapoha, the new one, came to, and they are going to award that road for us. And when they do that, the companies there will be serviced well. You know, farmer also use that road. Fortunately, looking at the way the trucks position themselves in town is not the best. So Gasem have acquired the old abattoir, and they are going to work on it. Just last week we did the third cutting, and I believe very soon they will move to site, and they prepare the place for bulk trucks to be their terminal. So when that thing is there, it will relieve the city of these big trucks congesting their city.
But that's just the old industrial enclave, because there will be a relocation. That's just the updates on those roads.
Exactly.
I've had reports of one of my favorite places in Takoradi, Fijai. I hear the roads now are terrible. So what's the plan for that particular road, and also the CDH road?
With your stress on terrible, it's not as terrible as it is.
It's not that terrible. Oh, okay.
There's a contractor on site from Fijai linking Sekondi-Takoradi Hospital. It is on site.
It's not abandoned?
No, it's on site. Just yesterday I passed there, and he's doing half of the place. There's a median there, so he's doing the half. He has almost got into the old, what do you call it? I don't want to talk about it. The old culture center, which has been abandoned for some time.
That project is still abandoned?
Oh, it doesn't see any improvement.
Way back in 2004, it was still an abandoned project.
Yeah.
And this is 2017.
Exactly.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, that's what we are facing as a metropolis. So we've, sorry to bring it in, we have engaged the regional administration, and they have shown us the document and what is going on. So we are about to
2004, not even 2014. 2004.
Yeah, I remember very well. This boy was very particular about it. Philip, your own Philip.
Yes.
He was telling us, what are you doing with the culture center? And it is still there over 20 years now. Wow. It has not been completed. So now we're going to have a cultural village over there as well.
That same venue.
That's, yeah. The site is quite okay. So we are going to do that as well. So we are.
So is there a promise now to finish that project?
We are in negotiation with the regional administration. So we take over as a metropolis, and we look for investors to come and help us complete that. You know, it's a very big edifice, and it has so many components to it.
So that's one of the things you want to complete.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's one of my baby.
Okay.
I want to do that. So your road there, it's on contract.
Okay.
Not that on contract, it's in progress.
So when should we expect that it will be a finished project?
Oh, sooner than later.
Okay.
Because since it's on half, the half is about to, you know, from the culture center to the, what do you call it, the fire service, very close. Fire service to the junction is almost complete, then we turn to the other side. The contractor was being frustrated by the heavy trucks. And as an assembly, we also acquired the land at Mpensi.
Okay.
Right, Suffolk area there, a terminal for bulk haulage. And it's part of our PPP, and the consultants are in. So we will move them there to that place, so that the place will be freed of these bulky trucks. Because when you construct the road and you don't take that into the nature of the trucks, into the thickness of the road, when they stay on the road, it will deteriorate the road. So we will move them there, and the road will be free. So pretty soon, all of them will vamoose from that place.
These are nice things you're saying.
No, it's nice to you, but we mean to do it. You know, it has been there for a very long time.
We will check. And, we will keep checking.
And we came to meet the road being on contract by my predecessor. That means the just existed government gave it on contract. So we have to continue with the process. We can't abandon it. We have to continue with the process.
Unfortunately, the city is also having to go through flooding. And indeed, I think in 2 months or in 2 weeks, we've had 3 flooding situations, something of the sort. So what's the way forward with the flooding issue?
Thank you. With the flooding issue, thanks be to God. When we came into office, right, we appealed to the people of Sekondi-Takoradi. I want to use your medium to thank them so much. all the business communities and the rest. They did me a favor which was overwhelming. Some came to, I remember very well, GPITU came to assist us with 50 pieces of wheelbarrow. You will not believe it. 200 pieces of shovels. Likewise, so many companies, Unicorn and the rest, they all came in. So when we went for my first sanitation day, it was marvelous.
That was a cleaning exercise.
Exactly. It was very marvelous. Everybody, and no car was moving. Maybe you heard it over here. People were complaining that we had to block the road from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and people from Accra and the rest couldn't enter the city because we wanted to prepare for the rains. And because
irrespective of that cleaning exercise,
in spite of that,
we're still faced with flooding.
That's what I'm coming to. Because of that, it saved us a lot. The flooding you are talking of, the water will stay there. In about an hour or two, it will go. So it was just the water receptacles, which were very narrow. That is why we saw those things. Because Market Circle, the famous Market Circle, used to be flooded. But in about 30 minutes, it will all go because we're able to desilt the gutters.
But that's still a bit abnormal, isn't it? Because the water shouldn't stay not for 30 minutes.
No, you know, the volume. So you can see that some of the, what do you call it, the storm drains, some of the drains need to be widened. That is what we observed. Certain areas need to be widened, and we should be doing some regular desilting. People are of the view that Magasin White House, the famous Magasin White House, is a stumbling block to the waterway, but that isn't. So when you cross under the bridge to the end of Magasin White House, you see that the water is flowing. So it is the dirt, the filth, the refuse. That is the problem I'm facing with my good people of Sekondi-Takoradi.
So is the building going to go down now?
No, the building is no problem. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you go under it, the water will flow smoothly. But people dumping refuse into the gutters. That is the biggest problem we have in the metropolis. You know, when these things are choked and the rain is coming, the rain will find it difficult to go smoothly. I remember the first time it occurred, we had to go there and engage some men to help us. We were able to haul about 3 trucks of refuse. 3 trucks of refuse, and there the water started flowing. We have other problem with people trying to do some filling without permission. So by so they block the waterways, and when you do so, water finds its own level.
So how are you tackling that situation?
We've gone around those who are building waterway without permit. We are pulling their burdens down.
You're pulling the structures down even today?
Yes, we are in the process. Go to Racecross, we have the same thing. Some people stay indoors for 2 days without coming out because 1 or 2 people have built in the waterway.
But that will make you a very unpopular mayor then.
Why unpopular? You do things with permission. You don't do things on your own. If you are in a society without any law, then you are not, excuse me, you are not living in the jungle. You are living in a society governed by the law. And the law says you should do this and that. So for your own interest, you cannot disturb your neighbor. So if your structure is disturbing about 50 people, and unfortunately you don't have the permit, the law has to be enforced. So it's the bylaws and the laws of the nation we are applying.
Finally, what's that big dream, that nice dream of yours that in about 3-4 years, when you exit, we should see you leave behind?
Thank you. We want Takoradi to be one of the neatest cities in Ghana. Plans are afoot. We have started fixing light. It used to be dark, and we have started fixing light, and I hope in the next 2 weeks you can send your people there. We see that Takoradi is lighted. Not Takoradi alone, all Sekondi-Takoradi, its environs. You know, now we have expanded to Anaje, Mount Zion, and the rest. Fine. And after that, we want to see high-rising building in Takoradi to accommodate a lot of people. And you can bear with me that around Zenith area there, those dwarf or short buildings there need not be there. Society is not static but dynamic. These days, high-rising buildings can accommodate a lot of people. And that will save Takoradi a lot because all our farmlands are being turned into residential areas because of that nature. So we are into that, talking to investors and the rest.
Okay.
We are the same thing applying, talking to the Ministry of Interior so that the police buildings and the rest, which are lapidated and the rest, we bring them down and we go up so that we get a lot of people in town. And the roads too. The government has promised dualizing our main roads for us, especially the one from Kojokrom to Takoradi, and from Sekondi to Takoradi, and the Z roundabout too. We are working on it.
So we should see
applied there, and we are coming with the what do you call it? This place, the type of mall at Kumasi. The investors were there last week at my office. They're coming to put another one there.
Oh, so we'll see a Takoradi mall too.
Yeah, WHO came there.
Bigger than the one in Kumasi?
They have their land, so I can't tell the size they are going to put there.
Okay.
We'll be very glad if it will be bigger than that of Takoradi.
When should we expect this?
Oh, they will say they will hit the ground running in July. So I've given them up to September. So they move their machines there, they evacuate the air there, and work.
I'm excited. I wish you well. But please also plan for packs. Also plan for packs and you know playgrounds that people can easily sit.
We are going to remove those in front of the Casanova belt. Okay. That is telecom area there. And Parks and Gardens people are working on it. Okay. That is the plan for Takoradi.
Wow.
It's long ago.
Okay.
But we are going to implement it.
All right.
And where there's hand clothing people there, we are going to put a park there and we move them to the famous Apramado Market. Apramado Market, we have stores there now. We have built a new terminal there, and we are going to renovate the stores. The contractor moved to site just Friday. So when we finish, they will move there and Takoradi will be free.
Mr. KK Sam, thank you so much for your time. I wish you well. You've got great plans. I wish you well.
Thanks so much.